what's in your mind, for you and for I. I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you. I'm messing up my mind and my spirit.
What up, everyone? This is Inside the RV, episode 34. Shout out to the insiders. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it, y'all. You're listening to Inside the RV. This is a podcast about entrepreneurship, work ethic, self-development, and becoming the best version of yourself. You're joined by your two lovely hosts. I'm one of them. My name is Jacob Moore.
I'm the other, Ryan Ramirez.
Jacob Moore and Ryan Ramirez. Together, we are an artist and artist manager duo looking to come up in the music industry and achieve the success that we envision for ourselves.
Manifesting, baby. Let's go.
We're manifesting that shit, baby. Hey, I want everyone listening to get real hyped, whether you're on your commute, you're cooking dinner, you're about to fall asleep. Hopefully this will keep you up a little bit, get you thinking a little bit. You know, in your entrepreneurial journey, it's going to be really important to build a good team. And it's hard because, you know, at least for me, you don't want to give up control.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, in a sense, control is freedom because you're controlling everything. You're quote unquote the mastermind behind it.
Yeah.
There could be a little bit of ego behind that. For me, there probably was. I would sit here and be like, we could do this all ourselves. Like me and Ryan, we're gonna make it out of this fucking RV. The odds are just me and you alone doing that. It's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
We need to get skilled people on a team where everyone has a specific role and they can shine in that role.
Yep.
They're the quarterback of that role. They're killing it. You have strengths, Ryan, as a songwriter and an artist and a true creative. I don't necessarily have the ear that you do or the ability to think, is that a catchy melody? Things like that. I've got that business analytical communication skill, you know, and that's my strength. You have your strength. And you can't do it all on your own.
Yeah.
You got to be able to leverage different people's strengths. And that can be a scary thing because, once again, you don't want to give up freedom. You don't want someone to drop your baby.
Yeah, I'm a big believer, though, that in the beginning stages, it's best to wear multiple hats. Like, I think that, especially for us, like, it was good for us to do that.
Yeah.
Just to know all the roles. Just to have an awareness of what really goes on. So that way, you're not fully giving the reins to someone and you don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Even like just on a foundational level is fine too. Like, you know, you were taking pictures of me, videos. I was kind of also doing some advertising shit. Like we were kind of all doing all different things. So, but also based on what you said on like control, I think that I'm a big believer too that if you get really good at what you do before you start building your team, you're gonna notice like you're not gonna lose as much control because you're undeniably good at what you do. And whoever you're teaming up with who wants to make money with you is gonna, if you're really good, they're gonna understand that I'm gonna make money if he does what he does because he's good. You know, so I'm a big believer, like, if you don't have a team yet, work your ass off to get really good at what you do. So that way when it comes time and you attract the right people, then you're not really going to have to change too much. You're going to have to change for sure, but not so much to where it's like you were doing things absolutely wrong and you didn't put the work in to discover your potential with it. So that way when the change comes, it's like a minor change that enhances, and it's not just this like big risk change that you're making. Yeah.
So you're saying to get really good at the one thing that you specialize in, but also understand that in the beginning, your time and your energy is also going to be divided into wearing multiple hats because it's the beginning.
Yes.
So you got to figure out what your strength is, wear the hat of every team member, and over time, you'll develop that one killer strength, like you being an artist and a songwriter, Ryan. You'll develop that one strength over time, and you'll finally be able to come to other teammates and say, hey, can you please wear this hat? I'm undeniably good at this hat, but I need you to wear this one, and we can leverage each other's skills and hopefully make each other a shitload of money.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, because I think like a CEO of a company, right? They started at the bottom wearing multiple hats. Like Jeff Bezos, I'm pretty sure did like everything in the very beginning stages.
Jeff Bezos can package up a package.
He mopped the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Cleaned the bathrooms.
Yeah.
He packaged it and sent the shit out. Like he did everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like you got to earn attracting those people based on like your good work, and then become smart and be like, okay, I can do those things, but it would be smarter if I went all in with this one thing I do good and just like delegate the other shit to people who do those things really good.
Yeah.
But I think you got to earn that. Unless you have the money. Like if you have the money
Yeah.
up front, then I think you could do that right away. But even then, I'm still the big believer that it's better not to do that, so that way you know what's going on and you're aware of like the shit that they do.
Well, the biggest thing is that when you work, when you work different roles and wear many hats in the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, you understand how each role integrates into the entirety of the company,
Yes.
right? So you understand why sales and fan engagement are related, and you understand what components of each of those are related, and you also understand, how streaming relates to XYZ or whatever. Because of that, you now understand the mechanics of the entirety of the business.
Yes.
And you're able to make better overarching decisions because now you're looking at the chessboard and you know how one move is going to affect the next.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in, specialization of labor or skill set or whatever you do. So that's a big part of building a team, right? So Ryan just said you have to earn those teammates, and that's totally true, and it's going to take so much time. We worked with Joe, and I would say that me, you, and Joe were kind of the initial team.
On the
But
come up,
so you had to work your ass off for a couple years, and then I met up with you, and you were able to take that business hat and put it on my head.
Yeah.
Then, and concurrently, you were also working with Joe. So you proved that you were a great artist and you needed someone to do the videos, whatever. Then me and Joe eventually met. Then we had the three. That whole process of just making the team, me, you, and Joe, took you a long time.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then we met with Sticks. And it took, 1.5 years of me and Ryan working together, Ryan on his own working for years, to finally meet someone in the industry who was willing to help us, who had tons of experience. Now, a year later working with Sticks or whatever, we've been able to, we've kind of like, it's exponential, right? Like each one gets faster. Now we're building more and more connections more and more quickly because people see the value in our team.
Yeah.
But you had to wear so many hats in the beginning to be able to bring people on board.
Yeah.
But because of that, you now have an understanding of the mechanics of everything. Like no one knows Ryan Ramirez as good as, well, maybe I do, the business I'm talking about. No one knows it as good as, basically you and me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, even Sticks to an extent, and maybe some other people that we work with. But ultimately, since you and I started this, we understand now how everybody integrates, and that's an awesome thing.
Like it took a lot of convincing for you to be like, hey, you know what? I want to be your manager. Like you had to see a lot of shit that I did to get that. So that's initially where it started. And then as a team, we had to prove that we're onto some shit, which took a while, exactly what you said. And then to get Sticks, I think we did like 5 music videos before that. Yeah. Like, because it was Lights On, the one he hit me up for. Yeah. I think that was like number 5 music video. So, Joe too before that, obviously. But I think it's just like, I've always felt like the best relationships are the ones that come to you. Yeah. Like if you're building something, because they respect what you're doing, and obviously if they didn't believe in it, they wouldn't come to you in the first place. And I feel like if you hit people up to help you with certain things, it's like, unless it's transactional and money based, it's not always the most fun to work with those people, for one, and for two, they're probably going to be not the best results that you can get, because they're only in it for like a quick bag and not in it for like a long-term thing that they see for themselves. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this shit for ourselves. We're all on this team because we all see potential that I, as an individual of the team, is gonna benefit off of this shit. Yeah. We're not doing shit for no one. Like, this is for ourselves. But it's the magic of the synergy to all come into one project that benefits every single person. But in order to really create a foundation where different people believe in that, you got to put in the initial work to really attract those people, Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of dope if you think about it, though.
Yeah. And it's fun. Like, I'm currently helping. I wouldn't say I'm a huge part of it, maybe I am, I don't know, but I'm helping kind of advise, guide, and work along with my friend who's trying to get started in e-commerce. And I think for a long time it was just him, and then he had a couple other people come in, and then I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I have a skill, digital advertising, and I think I can help you with that.
Yeah.
And I totally see the value in what you're doing. And he was like, hey, I see value in your skill set, whatever. And it's not even about a money thing. Like like I have never asked him to pay me. He's never asked me to pay him or any of that. We both just shook hands and like knew that the energy was there, that the vision was there. So we're willing to take a risk and try it.
Yeah.
So, last night, like, instead of going out and doing shit or whatever, like I sat on a call with him for 45 minutes trying to figure out Facebook ads. And I'm like calling my network trying to figure out, the best way to advertise and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a sacrifice we make because we see the vision and know that with the expansion of the team and the addition of the right team members, things could be really awesome. So it really just comes down to building a great team is you're going to want to have, you first of all need to believe in it like a motherfucker, and you're going to bring along people that also believe in it. So Ryan said a minute ago that when things are transactional, correct, financially, so you're just paying someone to do a music video, they could be hella hyped on it, but if you're just paying someone for a transaction where they're not extremely passionate about the project, it could, even if they're really good, it'll never yield as great a result as a team of people who felt an energy and a connection to the project and were super, super passionate about it. It'll never be the same.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like you got to pay people. Like obviously, like when you get to big videographers, like they're not going to do shit for free. Like that's not how it works. But it's just like, you can read when someone genuinely likes what they're doing with the project, or if they're just getting it for the bag. And to me, that's a huge 9-day difference.
And what Ryan and I are talking about mainly is in the beginning, because you don't have money. So that's why we're kind of talking about this whole thing of like, oh well, how are you going to get people to work for free? Well, we're not getting people to quote unquote work for free because we're not even making any money right now. So what we're doing is we're adding people to our team that want to aid in our journey to success because they see something in it for themselves. What's in it for me? That's the ultimate question.
And my mindset with it, which I think yours is like this too, has always been cool. If this is what you charge, like, then I can't afford it. So if you're down to do it, let's do it. If not, I'll figure it out. I'll do it myself if I have to. For now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a balance though, because like some people would say, we'll get the money and like get a dope video out of it. But to me, like I said, like it's still, it just all depends on like how hyped that person is though.
Yeah.
Because we could get the money and get it, but it's like, okay, but would it really be worth it at the end of the day? Like would it really get like a product that we think would be the best next step? And a lot of it too is like, there's like a magic that goes into it, like when the person is into it. Like you can't fake that shit. You could pay someone $25,000 to do a video, but if they hate doing it, like you're not going to feel that magic of their part. So it's like there's a weird thing you got to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to pay people, guys.
Absolutely.
Let's throw that out there. We want to pay people. We're talking about in the early stages, the best team members you are going to get out of the early stages, at least in our experiences, are those people who want to do it because they genuinely fuck with you. They're really hyped on what's happening. So that's all we're saying. So in the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, when you're trying to build your team, it's better to grind it out on your own, wear a couple hats, and learn the mechanics of your business and play every role for a little bit than to potentially pay someone you don't even have the money to really pay them, and maybe try to pay someone who's not even super passionate about it. What I'm basically saying in the simplest terms is, instead of hiring someone to do something for you and it's entirely transactional 3 months into your journey, maybe you should try to learn that and do that yourself for a year. And then a year later, someone with that skill set will come along and say, hey, I see how hard you've been grinding. I can help you in this area.
That's the mindset we've had. Like, it's like, get so dope at what you do that people undeniably, like, they just want to be a part of it so bad. It's like, dude, like, I just have to be a part of it. Like, it's just, it's so attractive and I believe in it, you know?
But none of this happens if you just sit there like a bitch.
No,
You need to go out and network.
Yeah.
You need to DM people on Instagram. You need to follow people on Instagram. I mean, I will follow people on Instagram and comment on their stuff like I know them. Because I do know them based on their Instagram. I see what they do. So, I connected with someone on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I like followed the project that they were doing, and then I DM'd the project, and they gave me their personal, and we just chatted for a little bit over Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's a person who like genuinely wanted to help us, thought it was cool. We wanted to help them, and now I just have a dope connection in my pocket added to the list.
The thing I always stuck to, which it seems like it's working, and I don't know if it's like a douchebag way to think about things, but it just seems like right to me.
Yeah.
Like, I always make sure that the people I want to work with that are around me, like, but they're not fully down to work, I always make sure I'm in the loop with them, but I never ask for shit. I never ask for shit from them unless they hit me up for it.
Say it again. Sorry.
So, okay, let's say there's someone that I think is really dope that I want to work with in our vicinity.
Yeah.
But they haven't really hit me up to like work on some shit yet.
Okay.
But I know they could be valuable.
Okay.
I never ask them for shit because I think that strips like the power away from them wanting to believe in it. Like I wait for them to come to me. Like I'm like, you know what? If they haven't hit me up for it yet, that haven't gone good enough. I want to get so good that person is like, fuck, dude. Like I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
But if they're not, like I'll never be like let down if they didn't hit me up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the right person or whatever.
Yeah.
But I still keep them around. I'm still in the loop and like, supporting and just like around. But I just like, you know what? Maybe it's a song that I drop that it's like that person's like, all right, dude, I want to come help now. Like,
how do you ask for opportunities then though from people?
I think that's a good point. I've never really asked for opportunities from people, to be honest. Like never.
Yeah.
It's always like, who came to me?
Well, I think it's okay to ask for an opportunity if you have mad confidence that you feel and know that you're ready for that opportunity. Yeah. Like if you're yelling at Kanye, let me spit for you, bro. Please let me spit for you or whatever. Like I saw a guy doing that or whatever. That's like much more different than meeting Kanye in a studio. You've worked your ass off as a writer or whatever. You're like vibing out with him and you're like, hey, like, would you give me the opportunity to like rap for you right here or something like that?
Yeah.
Or like I could, well, as your manager, I'm going to tell you, ask people for fucking opportunities, but obviously like you're really good at this, Ryan. Like read the room. Like you already know, like social cues, don't be an awkward fuck, and don't make things weird and ask for something out of line.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's been tons of opportunities like scenarios that you've been in and I've been in where I want to ask someone for an opportunity, but I know it's not the right time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Or I don't have the shit yet.
Exactly.
Like the scenarios I'm thinking of is like when I was in the studio with different people, and I knew I had some songs they were gonna like, absolutely. Yeah. So I wait for that moment of like, it's not my time there. Like I'm just kind of just hanging out there. But I wait for that moment of like the passing the aux cord around and be like, hey bro, let me play something. Okay. That's that moment, and I don't say shit. I just play the song
and you let it speak.
And then sometimes it'll be like, oh shit, like this is super dope.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I make the shit at home. Oh, you make it at home in the RV?
Yeah.
You make it in an RV? Okay, cool. Let's chat.
Yeah. Why don't you come here and record it?
Exactly. I wait for them to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think you're right, too. Like, you want to ask for opportunities, but like what you said, you got to read it. Like, there's always that person that's like, bro, let me please send you my shit. Like, can I please?
Please let me. Oh, yeah.
It's like the dynamic of that, to me, is like, it's never going to be right.
You immediately put yourself not as their equal, but lesser.
Exactly.
Because you're looking up to them saying, please give me this opportunity, please. But when you approach someone as their equal and you're saying, instead of Ryan, begging someone to listen to his record, the right approach would be to position it so that they're about to listen to a really valuable record.
Yeah.
This could be a money-making record. This could be something where it could lead to a partnership where Ryan and this person could make a lot of money. So instead of asking the label executive, please listen to oh my God, please, the better position is, hey, I have a great record that I think could be really financially valuable and could really impact a lot of people. Your job is to find records like that.
Yeah.
Let me show you this. So that's the right, opportunity, asking for opportunity approach. You always got to try to make things equal. And if you're really confident, like, oh, my record is super good, I feel like I should ask this person in my network for an opportunity. Number one, I want to say just let your confidence drive that completely. Be confident. And even if in the back of your mind you feel like maybe there's a little bit of doubt. You just have to take the action necessary to eliminate that doubt.
Yeah.
So if they put you on and you're like, holy fuck, I can't believe they signed my record or whatever it is, now it's game time.
Yeah, I think, but I will say, I think that could work though. Like, for example, let's say you're 17 years old and you get your music to a label and the label's like, or you send it to a label and you're trying to like do that shit or whatever. And the label's like, yeah, we want to work with you. We want to sign you and shit. To me, it's like, it's funny because throughout the years, like I've always had that like, that thing where I never wanted to be controlled like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to know the game. Like I always subconsciously knew like I want to know the game. Not so good to where it's like, what I'm saying, like I'm super old and it took me a long time to figure it out, but just like enough to be like I know what situations I'm getting into. I'm not trying to get thrown in the fucking industry and not know shit as a kid and be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So what was I getting at? I was getting at that could work, but just be prepared that you're gonna have less knowledge, and you're gonna start with them as like someone who's not as equal, and you're gonna probably be like more controlled, and then that leaves you vulnerable to shit that's going on behind the scenes that you don't even know about, like some contractual shit that you didn't even think about because you don't know about it. I don't know. I'm going down a rabbit hole now, but it's just like you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest takeaway that we're talking about here is you want to work so that you're confident that you are equal with people that you're working with.
Yes.
Like
I want people to take us seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the reality is like if I link up with someone from a label or another manager or whoever it is and they have 20 years experience on me, I'm not their equal.
No, yeah.
Straight up. But I have to bring something to them so valuable, which is maybe a skill set or a network or a personality. I have to bring something to them so valuable that they feel like I'm their equal.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this person doesn't have 20 years in the game. He's only got 3 years. Maybe he hasn't done X, Y, Z, but I see their drive and I see the potential because they have a great network and they're making the right moves. So in my eyes, that's equal. Maybe in reality, it's not equal to 20 years of experience, but
yeah, but you can feel it. There's something you can feel
always
to where it's like, I don't know how to explain it.
Here's another thing I want to say about building a team. The vibe is everything.
Yeah.
The vibe is everything. I heard a video, and this guy was like, people don't leave bad jobs. They leave bad bosses. They leave bad work environments and toxic coworkers. They don't leave the job. It's everything and the vibe and the energy that surrounds that, Yeah. If I worked with a great team, even if I was doing a project, and this has happened a million times in college, you get a project you fucking hate, but you're sitting in the library fucking around with everybody and you're having the time of your life. It doesn't make it seem that bad.
Yeah.
It makes it doable,
For sure.
And so I want to say that the vibe, number one, is everything. And Ryan and I have met with people that, we vibed with in the beginning and then didn't vibe with. We've met people where right off the bat, we just didn't, like their personality or whatever. And maybe they felt the same way about us. And it's just like, as professionals, you just shake hands and go, all right, we're going to move the other way or whatever. But man, when you find team members, and that's why it takes so long, you're making friends. You're making people that you can trust and people that you can rely on, and you're confident in their skill set. So that's why it takes so long. But dude, the vibe is everything. And some hardcore business people, and I agree with this to an extent, like you don't want to be friends with everybody on your team.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the times, Ryan, like I'm not your friend. We're talking business, and to an extent, like Sticks and I aren't friends in the sense that like we're working on this shit.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be with a lot of your team members. But like that friend aspect is still there because you can trust in them, confide in them about the business and shit.
Yeah, I think that's where like intuition is so important. Like you got to be in tune with that shit somehow. You can feel it. Like you can feel it when it's the right person that you need to have on your team.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, I think people get, and I used to be like this too. I still work on it, but it's just like a lot of people get masked by that by an opportunity that's so great, but they know there's red flags from that person, or like they're not totally synergized with them, but they're like, I'm gonna take the opportunity over working with that. And it's like, see, but it's a case by case thing, because I think there are some times like you got to do that, but in general, I generally think like I want to work with people that I can trust and work with people that I can consistently count on, and that we just, like what you said, vibe good together, because that's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like this is an art. Like music is an art, so it's like you got to make sure everything's aligned correctly.
If you get a good opportunity, but everyone you're going to work with on that project is a shithead and you hate it, it's not a good opportunity.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. It's like, there's sure there could be money coming out of it or whatever, but if you hate it and you're signed into an agreement for 2 years or something, you fucking hate having to call these people or whatever it is, like, then that's not a good opportunity.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So, but if you got yourself, and I say it again, I've said this word a million times. If you get some sort of opportunity, but the people are shitty, just know that you had the skills and did the work that brought you that opportunity.
Yeah.
So you can replicate it because you've already done it once.
Yep.
You think you're only going to get one opportunity? If you're truly networking and going hard at your craft and showing people that you're valuable, other shit will come.
Oh, for sure.
Other shit will come, and you can't cry over spilt milk. It's like I watched a video yesterday of the sharks on Shark Tank. None of them invested in Ring Doorbell.
Wow.
When it was called some bullshit, when they first went on there, none of them. And I think now it's $1 billion company.
Crazy.
Or Amazon purchased it for $1 billion or something. But
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary, shout out Mr. Wonderful. He's so dope, bro. Kevin O'Leary was like, can't cry over spilt milk. Whatever.
Even I think Gary Vee didn't pass up on Uber. I think that was another thing.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
And I feel like that's so funny. I feel like that's Gary's shit.
Yeah.
It's like the millennial,
You would
ride
think.
sharing, he's invested in Twitter and Snapchat, I just imagine that Uber is like his shit, him in a
Yeah.
beanie,
Yeah.
driving around in an Uber. That's so funny. Well, not funny. Fuck, that sucks. But hey, can't cry over spilled milk.
I mean, he said he laughs about it now
Yeah.
because he doesn't take that shit that serious because he's still
still a
going.
baller.
But it's like that's a big one though.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think the exactly what you said. I think got to be picky with your team, absolutely. And I think if you have a small foundation, it's more of a blessing than you think because you're not trapped in some shit. I think there's a lot of people that are trapped in some shit because they jumped into shit too quick early in their career, and then it's like, oh, but I didn't know that I didn't know how this really works. I wish I studied beforehand. I wish I spent the years to really understand the game, which we're still learning. I'm not saying we're ready and shit, but it's just
we don't know shit.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell myself.
We don't know shit. But I just have an awareness of okay, or we have an awareness of the general things of how it works. But it's just I think that's so key. That's why I don't know. It really opened my eyes a lot recently too because I would say the past 2.5 years of us working, it just felt very stagnant. It just felt fuck, we're learning, we're getting better, etc. But we're not growing to an extent to where it's we're so satisfied.
Mm-hmm. It was periods of stagnation.
It just felt like stagnation, exactly. But it wasn't though. You know what I'm saying? Because we were really learning how shit works. Yeah. And I think that's a blessing because, and you could choose to look at it that way. It's a blessing because we were able to understand the foundations of shit before we jumped into things. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel so much more confident as a music manager, and I haven't even done, my role that I do with you isn't even that of a traditional manager.
Yeah.
I'm a 2021 millennial upcoming independent manager. We run Facebook ads and we post on social media and we network. Mm-hmm. And, it's not I'm a traditional, I'm not Scooter Braun or Moshe Leezy sitting here, walking into the record label and doing that. I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll fucking get there. I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's not what I'm doing now. But doing that hustle and working my way towards being a true music manager, whatever that means,
Mm-hmm.
but working my way up to my true career, really built a lot of drive in me. I feel really driven now. When I meet up with people and stuff, I have confidence because I'm okay, maybe I'm not exactly where I want to be, but fuck, dude, I'm climbing this wall.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
climbing this wall fucking hard. And I say that, I feel like when, you have mad confidence now and so do I. It's and that is part of making people feel that you're equal with them, is confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy. So many people lack confidence and I still do in some regards. And I'm trying to really work at that, but hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It could be, but also talking about the equal shit, the fact that you're ambitious and passionate could make up for like the unequalness.
That's what I'm
Exactly,
saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have so much confidence in yourself that this person's like, yo, like, I want to work with a person who's sure of themselves, who's willing to accept their mistakes and correct them and shit like that. Like, dude, it's all like in your personality and your vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in a lot of interviews, throughout college and shit, like for jobs and like mock interviews or whatever. And I can tell you that like the personality, the vibe, and the confidence is everything, dude. Like, but there are some silent killers. I think that, like, just because you're not maybe extroverted and outwardly confident, like, there are some people who are, like, my friend Nico, I would say he's, like, kind of introverted, but he's fucking smart, dude. Like, he's really fucking smart, and I know that, and, like, every time we go camping, every time we're doing something, talking about projects or whatever, like, I know that he's got, like, this, like, super acute intelligence in him, and so maybe he doesn't outwardly express that, but, like, when it's time to perform, like, if he needs to make money, or he has a job, or he's doing something, or even like riding bikes, like he kills it,
Yeah.
So he's like the silent killer, kind
okay.
of. So his confidence, like, is epic like that. It manifests in different ways like that. So I think that's dope. So if you are kind of introverted, like maybe you're kind of the person who more of, instead of being like outwardly confident and like personable and stuff, you literally, all you gotta say to people is, I let my work speak for me.
Yeah.
I let my work speak for me, and that's it. I'll show you results, dude. So if you're kind of introverted, that may be the most dope shit you could say. If someone told me that, and I've had people tell me that, like, I just provide results. That's the hardest shit you can say.
And leave it at that.
That's the hardest shit you can say.
And just leave it at that. Because I feel like if you start blabbering on, like, oh, well, I can do this, it's like, okay, like, you just talk out of your ass. But, like,
you can't be like, can I give you my 30-second quick pitch?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, bro. This is a good episode, bro.
Yeah.
This is good as fuck.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like we're spitting some knowledge right here.
What episode is 34? Nice.
34, bro. 34, man. You got anything else to add?
I think we covered everything.
Okay.
But just generally, like, make sure you're surrounding yourself with good vibes of a team.
100%.
But in order to get that, you have to become a good vibe yourself.
Wow.
You can't. We'll close it with that. You can't be a shitty person or a shitty team member and expect to attract awesome team members.
Yeah.
Like I said, this whole chat was about foundation, like just how you got to have that strong foundation, and it starts with your core team, and make sure you guys are just very like genuine and just like humble in the fact that you're willing to grow and ambitious, and you love what you do, and you're just like really just a good person, because I think that will take you way fucking farther than anything else. That's it.
Mic drop. Hey, Ryan's got a lot of good shit coming out. Listen to his music on Spotify, Apple Music. It's Ryan Ramirez. Instagram at Ryan Ramirez Official. Mine at JACXB Moore, Moore. This was episode 34. Shout out Insiders. DM us on Instagram. Say what's good, and
What's in your mind for you and for I'm trying to decide when I look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you, I'm blessing on my mind.